How many of you love your hair? Is it a part of who you are? What does it mean to you? Now I want you to imagine losing it all, going completely bald. Might you feel shocked, maybe self-conscious, wishing for it all back? Many people experience complete hair loss when they begin cancer treatment. However, hair isn't the only part of them that's lost. Our hair holds great importance to us, to our presence, and gives us confidence. When people lose their hair to cancer, it has a profound and negative impact on their outlook. What if you could help them? Today I want to shine a light on hair donation. Through charities, donated hair is transformed into free wigs for people suffering hair loss. First, I'll cover a bit of background on the charities, then I'll go into rules of donation, and lastly, I'll go through my personal experience. There are many charities that accept hair donations, but the two largest ones that I know of are Pantene Beautiful Lengths and Locks of Love. They're both nationwide charities that accept hair just being mailed in. So I'll start with Locks of Love. Locks of Love is a nonprofit organization that makes wigs for children with long-term hair loss. I believe their mission statement accurately sums up what they do. Our mission is to return a sense of self, confidence, and normalcy to children suffering from hair loss by utilizing donated ponytails to provide the highest quality hair prosthetics to financially disadvantaged children. The children receive these hair prostheses free of charge. Now, Pantene Beautiful Lengths is on a very similar course, except for they do the wigs for adults. So they are also a name brand hair product company, so they do have more opportunities, and they have partnered with the American Cancer Society for distribution of these wigs, as well as Hair You Wear. They are the company that make the wigs. Now, Pantene Beautiful Lengths has some stats on their website, which I'd like to read to you all. To this day, they've donated more than 42,000 wigs to adults with suffering hair loss. It takes 8 to 15 ponytails to make a wig, so that's kind of crazy how many people that would have been. And they have actually received in more than 800,000 ponytails since the program's inception. So with all those ponytails to process, you might be wondering how they keep things going so smoothly. And they do this by defining criteria before donation. So I'd like to now go through some of the rules. Most of these charities have their own rules, but they're all very similar, so I'm just going to go through Pantene Beautiful Lengths rules. I also do want to clarify that men can donate their hair too, so I'm not just talking about women here. The length requirement is 8 inches minimum, so 8 inches is about up to here on me. And it's 8 inches when straight. So they do not accept any colored hair from artificial dyes, bleaches, or chemicals, so that's maybe somewhat difficult for a lot of women. And then you can only have less than 5% gray, so there may be an age cap there too. They accept any hair type, so it can be curly, straight, thick or thin. The main requirements are that your hair is clean, dry, and has healthy ends. The healthy ends is the hardest part because the ends of your hair is typically years old by this time. And things that cause the damage to the ends are like excessive heat, excessive drying, and hair products. So you kind of have to avoid those. Now, after I said all these rules, I think that the biggest, most difficult criteria to meet for donating your hair isn't actually meeting maybe those rules, it's the time commitment. So your average hair grows ½ an inch a month. And in an ideal world, if you don't get any haircuts, you could do that in 16 months to grow your 8 inches minimum. But we all should get haircuts to keep the ends healthy. And maybe you get a haircut once every 6 months is pretty reasonable. And they trim minimum 1 inch. So now, if you redo your math, the estimate is 2 years. 2 years minimum to donate 8 inches. So that's quite an undertaking. Maybe as I was going through all these rules now, and I've put into my hair, you've noticed that my hair seems a little bit long. So I'd like to go through some of my experiences with donating your hair. I've done it 3 times since 7th grade. 2 times to Locks of Love and once to Pantene. The process is pretty normal. You schedule a hair appointment and you bring a plastic bag. You put your hair in a ponytail and they cut it off, and that's it. So the reason I do this is because I believe that I'm blessed to have beautiful hair. It always grows back, and hair loss can really strike at any time. So I can't imagine what those people go through with their outlook on life when they do lose their hair. So it feels like it's a good and easy way for me to give back. I know cutting it off can seem scary and daunting to a lot of people, and I can admit that yes, it is, definitely, but I've learned to embrace the experience and look forward to the liberation from going from long hair to short hair. And I've also inspired my little sister to do it. She's only 8 years old, and she's already donated her hair once. So I've now painted a picture that maybe cancer is the only cause of hair loss, but I want you guys to know that hair loss is caused by many other diseases. So providing free wigs to people who suffer from hair loss is just a really easy way to touch their lives and improve their lives. I hope each of you leaves here today a bit more knowledgeable about the charities that accept hair donations, the rules for donation, and maybe seem less intimidated about cutting off so much hair at once. Perhaps I may have inspired some of you to consider donating hair yourself. Come March 11th at 9 a.m., I will be donating at least 8 inches of my hair to Pantene Beautiful Lengths.